Hello everyone, the Snowman here, and the draw is officially out for Euro 2020 as I pull up the 6 groups of 4 teams each for the European Championships. Today I want to give my draw reaction, go through all 6 of these groups and talk about the 4 teams, how they fared in qualification and their chances moving forward. But before we get to that, a couple of key differences with the Euros in 2020 than in years past. It is the 60th anniversary of the Euros, so it is not one country that is hosting it this time around. We actually have 12 host nations. So they are Rome, Italy, Baku, Azerbaijan, St. Petersburg, Russia is the 3rd host city. We also have Copenhagen, Denmark, Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Bucharest, Romania, London, England, Glasgow, Scotland, Bilbao, Spain, Dublin, Ireland, Munich, Germany, and Budapest, Hungary. Again, 12 host nations instead of the usual 1 because of the 60th birthday of the European Championships. And then another big difference with the Euros this year compared to years past, we still don't know 4 of the 24 teams because there's a new kind of UEFA Nations League playoff system where in the past, this is new for Euro 2020, we have 16 teams that didn't qualify directly, but they still have a playoff chance thanks to their current UEFA Nations League ranking. Basically, that was a side competition that was meant to replace international friendlies, make things more competitive. So 16 teams still get to go through a playoff process that'll take place at single elimination in late March. So we won't actually know all 24 teams until late March. But for now, we know 20 of those 24. So let's dive into these 6 groups and talk about all the teams' chances. All right, so we'll start with the first group, Group A, and all the Group A matches will take place either in Rome or Baku. The 4 teams of Group A, Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland. So the first match here will be at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, Turkey versus Italy, and we'll begin with the Turkish, who were second in their qualifying group behind France. Actually beat the French, though, for a big match. Finished 7-2-1, 18 goals scored, only 3 goals conceded. That was tied for the best defensive record in European qualifying with Belgium. So only those 3 goals given up. Turkey was absent from the World Cup in 2018, you might remember. They also did not make it out of a tough Euro 16 group featuring Spain and Croatia. So it's been some time since they've made a deep run at a major tournament. 08 Euros, they did make the semifinals there. I think they have enough good players, though. Cenk Tosun led the way in qualifying with 5 goals scored. He's a pretty average-looking striker, you know, not overly athletic or fast, but good instincts around the net. And then again, their team defense is going to give Turkey a chance to get out of Group A. And I'd probably put Turkey, Wales, and Switzerland all kind of on the same level, but Italy has been a cut above as of late. The Italians were menacing through qualifying, going a perfect 10 wins in 10 matches. For Italy, they scored 37 goals, just 4 goals against. Andrea Bellotti, the Torino man, was the leading scorer in qualifying with 5 goals. And it was a huge disappointment for Italy to not be at the World Cup in Russia. They did have a great run at Euro 2016, taking out the 2-time defending champion Spain in the round of 16. Lost to Germany, though, in the quarterfinals in penalties. Italy knows its strengths. They're coached by Roberto Mancini. He's been all around the last decade at places like Man City, Galatasaray, Inter Milan, Zenit St. Petersburg. They play a very possession-style-based system under Mancini. Marco Verratti, tailor-made for that style, the diminutive midi with great with the ball at his feet. Also keep an eye on their 20-year-old goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is kind of the heir to the Gigi Buffon throne. Also in Group A then is Wales, who finished second in a loaded qualifying group where 4-2-2 in 8 matches. Only scored 10 goals, the lowest sum though for a team that qualified directly for the Euros. Very stern defensively. They had a very entertaining Cinderella run at the last European Championships, you might remember. Won their group over England, came down from 1-0 to upend Belgium in the quarterfinals. That set up a Wales versus Portugal semifinal. You had the Real Madrid teammates Bale versus Ronaldo. A lot of good storylines with that. Portugal was able to get the win there, but Wales definitely proved their European mettle 3 years ago. Gareth Bale, now 30 years old, but he's still the Welsh superstar of superstars. Everything Wales does has been running through Bale basically for the last 13 plus years now, and their coach is a bona fide star as well. Ryan Giggs, 23 seasons at Manchester United, 13 Premier League titles, 2 Champions League crowns, and he was appropriately hired the coach of Wales back in January 2018. And the last team in Group A is Switzerland, who topped a very strong qualifying group despite not having one of their best players, Xherdan Shaqiri, play a single minute of qualification. He was out injured throughout all of qualies. And Switzerland, they've been the round of 16 darlings at the last few major tournaments. 3 straight round of 16 exits at the Euros in 2016. They were on the wide open half of the knockout bracket, but they lost an absolute toss-up of a game to Poland, round of 16. That was 1-1 and then 5-4 in penalties. They have advanced out of the group, though. Like I said, the last 3 major tournaments, Vladimir Petkovic, the head man at all 3 of those events. He's brought a lot of consistency to this squad. Hopefully they can get back. Granit Xhaka has had a very tumultuous situation with Arsenal, but if they can get him to be focused, Xhaka is a do-it-all midfielder, tough tackler, can connect passes as well. Brayel Embolo, a 22-year-old striker for the future as well. Switzerland still has a lot of guys, a lot of good continuity and chemistry. And my overall thoughts for Group A, Italy, like I said, is a cut above, but this is a group where I could see all 4 teams advancing. I could also see all 4 teams not advancing. So a very wide open section, and should be fun in Group A. Okay, Group B then, my initial thoughts not so as wide open as Group A. We've got the 4 teams here: Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia. And if I had to coin one of these 6 groups as the group of life per se, it would probably be Group B, not as strong as some of the others. Belgium is going to be the heavy favorite here, but let's begin with Denmark. Denmark undefeated in qualifying, 4 wins, 4 draws in 8 matches. Their star Christian Eriksen led the way with 5 goals, one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, scintillating free kick artist as well. He hasn't been quite as in good a form, though, at his club Tottenham lately, so like Xhaka with Switzerland, hopefully Eriksen can get on the right mindset for Denmark as we get closer to Euro 2020. But Denmark was not at the last Euros. They did have a thrilling round of 16 match at the last World Cup. You might remember that was in Russia. 1-1 versus Croatia, lost 3-2 in penalties despite their world-class goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel standing on his head, making a bevy of memorable saves, 6 saves in fact. And Aga Haridi, the coach since 2016, an ex-defender who has won titles in every Scandinavian country as a coach. He'll be leading the way for the Danes. Then we also have Finland in Group B, and Finland is going to be one of the minnows at this event. Only 4 of their players play in Europe's top 5 leagues domestically, so not a whole lot of world-class talent, but they did finish second in their group behind Italy, qualified with a record of 6 wins, 4 losses, and 10 of their 16 goals was by star striker Teemu Pukki, who I love watching. For me, Pukki makes Finland a very watchable team. He's so exciting. At any moment can pull a goal out of nowhere. He's strong, physical, just a knack for making things happen. And Pukki helped Norwich City get promoted to the Premier League last season. His goal-scoring form hasn't really dipped that much in the top flight. And this is history for Finland, the first time they've ever qualified for a European Finals event or a World Cup for that matter. So some history being made. They're not a football powerhouse like their neighbors Sweden or Denmark, but their coach since 2016, Markku Kanerva, he's trying to usher in a new era. Then we get to Belgium, who is one of the biggest winners with this draw, in my opinion. They should roll through Group B. They rolled through their qualifying group. Belgium was a perfect 10-0, 10 wins, 40 goals scored, just 3 against. Romelu Lukaku, the striker, had led the way with 7 goals. And they've been steadily improving at the major tournaments. Quarterfinal at Euro 2016, lost to Bale and the Welsh then. But 3rd place at the World Cup 2 years ago, losing to the champion France in the semis. I've always enjoyed watching Belgium because of all the different playmakers. You can debate the substance of Belgium, but you can't debate the flash. They are definitely an exciting team to watch, and they still have a bunch of attacking players in the prime of their careers. Eden Hazard, 28-year-old superstar in the middle. He's a world-class midi. Him and Kevin De Bruyne make the magic happen. Also the aforementioned Lukaku up top. Yes, some of the defenders are getting older. The Vertonghen's, the Vermaelens, the Vincent Kompany's. Those guys are on their last leg, on their way out. So for that true Belgian golden generation, this is one of their last chances to get a trophy at a major tournament. but they've been coached by 2016 by a manager I have a lot of respect for as an Everton fan, the former Everton man, Roberto Martinez. And a team that won't be so happy to see Belgium again, the fourth team in Group B, Russia, who finished second in their qualifying group behind the Belgians actually. 8 wins and 2 losses, both to Belgium. They had 33 goals, and big Artem Dzyuba was one of the top scorers of all qualifying with 9 of those goals. But the 2018 World Cup host definitely won my heart over last summer with a supernatural charge to the quarterfinals. They were second in their group behind Uruguay, but then knocked off the 2010 World Cup champion Spain in an epic penalty shootout. Same coach from the World Cup, Stanislas Cherchesov, the former goalkeeper, made his nation very proud. And the former goalkeeper is going to have some goalkeeping problems, though, because longtime veteran Igor Akinfeev, who is pretty much Russia's first-choice keeper for 15-plus years, has retired. So they got to get that situation sorted out. In the meantime, I think Belgium, Finland, there's going to be a lot of goals to be scored against the Russians. Again, for Group B, Belgium, heavy favorite. And Denmark probably right behind them, though, as the second-best team in this group. Moving now to Group C, and the games in Group C will take place in Amsterdam and Bucharest. And this is the first group where we do not know all 4 teams just yet. We do know that it will be the Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and then one of these 4 teams from playoff path D, Georgia, Northern Macedonia, Belarus, or Kosovo. It'll likely be one of those 4 teams if Romania does not qualify from playoff path A. So we'll start off with the Dutch, and for Netherlands, I was really impressed with them and their qualifying. They had a lot of pressure on them because they missed out on the last Euros in 2016. Also failed to qualify for the last World Cup as well, so a ton of pressure. They had to qualify for this event, the Netherlands did, and they did so convincingly in a group with Germany and Northern Ireland. They were 6-1-1, came from behind in Hamburg, were down 2-0 to beat Germany 4-2. Jorginho Wijnaldum scored in that game. That was one of 8 goals for him in qualifying. They seem to be back on the rise again and leading the Dutch renaissance. A man I know pretty well, again, as an Everton fan, former Everton manager Ronald Koeman, the manager since February of 2018. He won the Euros as a player with Netherlands in 1988. And then another player I know well from being an Everton fan, that is the very intimidating, physically daunting center back, Virgil van Dijk, who is an absolute brick wall in the back. They've got young studs like De Jong and De Ligt. Netherlands are certainly fun again. Okay, another team then that's low-key pretty fun as well, Ukraine, who was the biggest surprise in qualifying, in my opinion. They won their qualifying group, the Ukrainians did, over teams like Portugal and Serbia. 6 wins, 2 draws in 8 matches, 17 goals scored, 4 goals against. First time they ever qualified directly for the Euros. Roman Yaremchuk, the leading scorer, with 4. And they were out in the group stage at Euro 2016. Did not qualify for the World Cup in Russia, but as I said, kind of an under-the-radar, very entertaining team. They're led by the legendary former striker Andrei Shevchenko, who's got just about every individual accolade during his playing career, the all-time leading scorer for Ukraine. And then the second leading scorer all-time, the current forward Andrei Yarmolenko. He's been in scalding hot form as well since returning from injury. The Netherlands is justly the favorite here, but Ukraine certainly finally heading into a major tournament with some confidence that they can advance out of a group. The third team in Group C then is Austria, second in their group behind Robert Lewandowski and Poland. 6-1-3 was the record. Leading scorer, the somewhat enigmatic, somewhat electrifying Marko Arnautovic. And 6 goals for him. He can pull offense out of nowhere. No World Cup in 2018 for Austria. It's always tough to qualify, though, out of UEFA with them only having 13 slots, I believe. So I always feel bad for the good European teams that don't make it to the World Cup when there's other teams like Saudi Arabia that gets to go to the World Cup. But that's a debate for another day. Austrians did qualify for the Euros back in 2016, finished dead last in a group with Hungary, Iceland, and Portugal. And their coach is a German, Franco Foda. And Foda just took over in 2018. He'll be relying on the uber-versatile David Alaba, a Bayern player since 2009. He can play fullback, center back, defensive mid, or winger. Will do a lot of different things for this Austrian squad. And then, as I said before, the fourth team in Group C will likely be a team from playoff path D, so either Georgia, Northern Macedonia, Belarus, or Kosovo. That'll round out Group C. Netherlands, the favorite here, Ukraine, right behind them, though. I'm very excited to watch Ukraine coming up at these Euros. The fourth group then, Group D. The Group D matches will take place in London and Glasgow. The 4 teams in Group D will be England, Croatia, the winner from playoff Path C, so either Scotland, Norway, Serbia, or Israel, and the Czech Republic rounds out Group D. So England at the top here, they were 7-1 in their qualifying group, only lost to a team that's in their Euro 2020 group now, the Czech Republic. Czech Republic giving England their first World Cup or Euro qualifying defeat in 43 consecutive matches. So that was a big result in Prague for the Czech Republic. England, though, you know, they didn't mind too bad. They still won the group. Harry Kane was magnificent. He not only led England, but all of European qualifying with 12 goals scored, and it is a merciless front line for England. Raheem Sterling has been hot as well, a superstar at Man City, who is pacey, a superb dribbler, excellent crosser, 10 goals in his last 10 appearances for England. And then, Kane, Sterling, Marcus Rashford as well. They've got a lot of great attacking talent. They experienced a huge upset at the last Euros, down in the round of 16 to the mighty minnow Iceland, but 4th place at the last World Cup. So, of course, no country has had quite as many major tournament heartbreaks as England throughout the years. Their head man, Gareth Southgate, trying to turn those fortunes around. They've got some expectations now, and England is the strong favorite in Group D. Okay, from England then to another team that dazzled at the World Cup last summer, and that's Croatia, the second team in Group D. Croatia, very talented side, won their qualifying group over Wales, Slovakia, and Hungary, 5-2-1. Bruno Petkovic, the top scorer with 4 strikes. And they're coming off the high of the magical World Cup run where the knockout run, 2 wins in penalties, and then the extra time win over England in the semifinal, 4-2 loss in France in the final. So I love how we have that subplot here in Group D with England and Croatia just meeting at the last World Cup semifinals. They get to duke it out in the group stage now in London, so England will have home field advantage there. Croatia lost a fist fight of a match to Portugal in extra time in the round of 16 back at the last Euros. And it's the same coach from the last World Cup, that is Zlatko Dalic. Also the same superstar you probably know, Luka Modric, who is now 34 years old, but he's a 2018 Ballon d'Or winner, the Golden Ball winner at the World Cup. He's a magician with the ball at his feet, and he has the supporting cast for Croatia to make some noise again at this tournament. Okay, as I said then before, the playoff Path C winner will also be in Group D, so that's either Scotland, Norway, Serbia, or Israel. I think it'd be very interesting if we got Scotland in this group, because England and Scotland just played at the Women's World Cup last summer, so maybe they're in the same group here. Serbia, though, probably the slim advantage, in my opinion, of those 4 teams to get that slot. And then the 4th team in Group D is the Czech Republic. I already mentioned their big qualifying win over England, so they finished 2nd in the qualifying group, 5 wins, 3 losses. Patrick Schick had 4 goals to lead the way, and they always seem to be in the mix at the big tournaments, but not as much success recently. This is not your older brother's Czech Republic team. They haven't made a deep run in quite some time. A group stage exit at Euro 2016, and then failed to qualify for the last World Cup. That's led to a lot of turnover at the head coach position. The current manager, hired in September of 2018, Jaroslav Salavi, an ex-defender with plenty of experience coaching in the Czech domestic league. And then one player to watch out for, central midfielder Vladimir Darida, an all-purpose player who plays in the Bundesliga for Hertha Berlin. 2 groups remaining now, and Group E, the matches will take place in Bilbao and Dublin. The 4 teams in Group E read Spain, Sweden, Poland, and the playoff winner from Path B. So that's Bosnia-Herzegovina, Slovakia, Ireland, or Northern Ireland. And we'll start off with the top there, the Spanish, who were magnificent in qualifying. 8 wins, 2 draws to win their group, 31 goals for, 5 against. And Alvaro Morata, their leading scorer, with 4. European champs from 2008 and 2012, but couldn't defend that title in 16 as they bowed out to Italy in the round of 16. Also ousted in the round of 16 in Russia. That was a penalty loss to Russia in Moscow. Just a really fun round of 16 match there. Very unstable managerial situation pretty much since Vicente Del Bosque retired in 2016. Luis Enrique stepping down right before the World Cup, but he is now back Enrique leading the way for Spain, and he'll be relying on many young players. One old vet, though, that he still has for at least a little bit longer. Can't get rid of him that easily. Sergio Ramos, still the eclectic and unpredictable leader on the back line for La Roja. The second team in Group E, Sweden, solid in qualifying, 6-3-1. Leading scorer was Robin Quaison, 5 goals for him. And they were one of the big winners at the 2018 World Cup, making it all the way to the quarterfinals. Won Group F, a group that involved Mexico, South Korea, and Germany. Beat the Swiss in the round of 16, and again, they rode their hot streak all the way to the quarterfinals. Group stage exit at the Euros in 2016, and a big reason for the Swedish resurgence that's going to be, despite Zlatan's retirement a couple of years ago, the head coach, Jan Andersson, who steered them to their first World Cup in 12 years. Andersson also had them finish first in their UEFA Nations League group. Pretty good keeper in the net for Sweden as well, the 6'6" Robin Olsen. Also in this group, we have Poland, who was 8-1-1 in qualifying, won their group, and you can probably guess who was the leading scorer for Poland throughout qualifying. In my opinion, the best striker in the world right now, Robert Lewandowski, had 6 goals. He's been in scintillating goal-scoring form as of late. He says the striker has admitted to his addiction. He says he's just addicted to scoring goals, and for me, Lua is a top 5 most exciting player to watch right now. Poland's most capped player of all time and their all-time leading scorer, and he's still playing. Jerzy Brezicek, the uncle of Polish midfielder Jakub Błaszczykowski, is the head coach. They failed to get out of an entertaining Group H at the 2018 World Cup. That was the group you might remember with Colombia, Japan, and Senegal. But a great run at the last Euros. Poland lost to the eventual champs Portugal in the quarterfinals on penalty kicks. And they'll be right in the thick of the race again. My hot take for Group E, I think Poland finishes on top of Spain, actually. They've got a great chance to win this group and make some noise, make another deep run at the Euros. And then, as I said before, just to review, the fourth team in Group E will be the playoff Path B winner. So either Bosnia-Herzegovina, Slovakia, the Republic of Ireland, or Northern Ireland. All right, finally we get to the group probably you all want to talk about, Group F, the appointed group of death here, and we have the 4 teams. It'll be the playoff Path A winner, so either Iceland, Bulgaria, Hungary, or Romania. And then we also have 3 of the last major tournament winners. Portugal, the 2016 European champs. We have France in Group F, the reigning World Cup champs. And we also have Germany here, the World Cup champions from 2014 in Brazil. So 3 really juggernauts of European teams in Group F. I feel bad for whoever gets out of that playoff Path A because they'll have a very little chance of qualifying through. But just remember, before we talk about these teams at the Euro, since it's a 24-team competition, the top 2 teams from each group do advance to the knockout stage, but also 4 of the top 6 third-place teams go by as well. So Portugal, France, Germany, although they all had bad luck by getting drawn in each other's group, they can still all advance to the knockout stage and then all have chances to go far. So let's talk about Portugal. Portugal were second billing in their European group behind Ukraine, 5-2-1. Cristiano Ronaldo, the leading scorer, 11 goals for him, second most in European qualifying behind Harry Kane. And of course, the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner needs no introduction. Cristiano, even at age 34, he's like LeBron James, aging like fine wine, still the face of the team. And Portugal, the defending European champions, having won in France in 2016, Eder, the dramatic game-winning goal in the 109th minute to give his team the title over the home field advantage French. Round of 16 then at the World Cup for Portugal, still coached by Fernando Santos, who's been the manager since 2014. Outstanding record with him at the helm. And everybody's murmuring about João Felix, the 20-year-old player with all the talent in the world. He could be life for Portugal post-Ronaldo. Okay, now we're really getting to the big guns. France, the 3rd team in Group F, and they lost to Turkey in qualifying. It was a shock defeat, but still finished 8-1-1, comfortably qualifying. Olivier Giroud struck the back of the net 6 times to lead France. Les Bleus, the defending World Cup champions from Russia in 2018. They made the final of Euro 2016 on home soil, just like I said as well. Were upset by a Cristiano-less Portugal squad in that final. Ronaldo got hurt early in that game, but still some great form lately. Didier Deschamps, the coach since 2012, a World Cup champ, and a Euro title as French captain back in 98 and 2000. Now a two-time World Cup winner. He's gunning for the international double again, and he's got an embarrassment of riches at his disposal with Hugo Lloris in the net and N'Golo Kante covering the middle of the pitch, and then Antoine Griezmann up top, the Euro 2016 Golden Ball and Golden Boot winner. And finally, we get to the last team I want to talk about, the final team in Group F. My favorite team to watch, that is Germany, who were 7-1, won their qualifying group, just edging out Netherlands despite the home loss in Hamburg to the Dutch. They still 30 goals scored, 7 against. Serge Gnabry finished with a hat trick against Northern Ireland to bring his total up to 8 goals. And it was a heartbreaking Euro 2016 for Germany that ended in a 2-0 defeat to France in the semifinals. Basti Schweinsteiger made an uncharacteristic mistake, a handball in the box to give France the penalty kick there. And then, of course, we all remember it was Germany not advancing out of their group at the World Cup in 2018 despite Toni Kroos's heroics. So despite the calamity in Russia, they're still led by Joachim Löw, the coach since 2006. I believe he's the longest tenured head coach at Euro 2020, so he's just a legend at this point. First and third finished places at the World Cup, and 3 top 4 finishes for Jogi Löw at the Euros. All he does is win. I know they've lost some of their luster. Some of the older guys are out now. Jerome Boateng, Mesut Ozil retired. I don't think Mats Hummels really is with the squad anymore, but they still have the engine in the midfield, Toni Kroos. He's one of the best passers in the world. He'll be leading this young team. And one note about Group F, you see Portugal, France, Germany, all in this group of death. I just want to say, home field advantage, again, is a huge factor with these Euros. The fact that we have 12 host cities, Germany, one of those host nations, and they will be playing all 3 of their group stage matches in Munich. That's why I would put them still as the favorite to get out of Group F over France and Portugal because of that home field advantage. It's going to be a whole lot of fireworks, though, in Group F. All right, thanks a lot for watching my Euro draw reaction video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media. Also, stay tuned. Throughout the next few months, I will be doing individual group previews for all 6 groups of Euro 2020. Then I'll give some of my final predictions as we get closer to the month of June. But thanks a lot. I'll be back soon. Cheers.